What are some of your best stories, your trucking stories, or your worst? I mean, I know you had the big accident.
Yeah, I had a big accident on November 1st of '65, where a guy hit my truck
And that was on the New Jersey
on
Turnpike.
a New Jersey Turnpike, and I was in the middle lane, and some guy drifted over and hit my front wheel, and couldn't steer, couldn't get out of his way, about causing another accident. And I jackknifed right there. And to this day, I'd love to know. Here, the windows all popped out and everything, and some woman felt sorry for me with all the blood gushing out. The ambulances hadn't gotten there yet, and she took off her fur coat and put it across me to keep me warm. I never found out who she was to thank her, because the paramedic says if it wasn't for that coat being on you, you would have died here.
Wow.
Because you would have gone into some kind of chill
Shock, yeah.
shock, and you would have died right here. But I never found out. I put an ad in the paper one time to try to find out who she was, and I never got any response. But I can still remember that, because I was in and out of consciousness at that time.
Yeah, and I understand the complete driver's compartment of that truck was destroyed, but
Yeah.
you were not wearing a seatbelt, and that actually saved your life in this case.
Yeah, because in those days we didn't have to have we had a strap belt, but that was it. And even for the longest time, I was afraid to wear belts because of that. But thanks to Cindy, she got me to get in the habit.
And what were you had some severe injuries in that accident?
I broke my right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, my arm, which they had to put a pin in it, and eventually take the pin out and put a pig bone in there.
Which they wouldn't do it today, but that's what they.
No.
Yeah.
No, every once in a while I think I hear an oinking. But I had one leg that had a cast on. I was full of casts in those days. It's funny, up to then, I had never injured myself to break anything. But I did it all in one day.
Didn't you have a brake problem here in California with a gas tanker on 17? On Highway 17, as I recall?
Oh, yeah.
A full load of fuel. How many gallons of fuel were you carrying going downhill with no brakes?
8,600 gallons of gas, and the brakes gave out. But I rode it out and kept blinking the lights and clearing everybody, and they realized something was going wrong. And I finally got it under control by the time I hit down to Lexington. And the highway patrol came up, and they said, that was son driving. They said, yeah, you didn't panic. I said, no, hey, it was my butt if I panicked. I said, not only somebody else's, but that thing could have blown. And I didn't want that.
Yeah. Now, what about some of your funniest stories from your days driving cross country, or any trucking?
Well, I remember one time we'd coming up a hill, when we crashed the thing. There was an accident ahead, and all those lambs running all over the highway. And I thought, well, I don't like lamb that much, but if that's all we're going to have for dinner, let's go.
I seem to recall a story about this being in a car at a stoplight with somebody who was wanting to race, and false start somebody into getting a ticket or something, or the police car watching or something?
Oh yeah, I had some girls that were actually trying to flirt, and I went and threw the truck out of gear and revved up the engine. They thought the light changed. They weren't paying attention, and they took off. And there was a cop sitting there at the corner, and they took off after them. And by the time I got up, they had to pulled over, and he got out of his book. And I went by and blew the air horn and waved at them. Hey, hi!
You get a lot of like girls flirting when you're driving a truck across
Oh
country?
yeah, especially when you're hauling gasoline. People during the gas shortages, everybody's flirting with you, see if you give them some free gas.
Oh, we're in the early 70s?
In the early 70s. And, before that, in New York, you have people want you to move something for nothing. You know, New Yorkers are known for that. They want something for nothing. So we have to watch out. But there were some places, that got some good food for doing a favor for somebody. And I always worried about my first national.